Oh, it's on. I'm still busy with my frames that I made with the glue gun. This is my last one I'm going to do now. You have already seen these if you watch my channel. These are already on my channel that I made. So I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do with this one now. This one, if you can remember, I just made myself popsicle sticks, and I put a piece of cork on top of this. So this is painted on cork. This one is just my plain popsicle sticks that I stuck together, and I painted on that. I think I did this one as well on the popsicle sticks. You can see this one, it's a piece of box. There was something in it. You can see it's just a piece of cardboard. And this one that I'm going to show you now, I'm just going to use this. This is that you can put in a file or something. You can see it's very thin. I'm just going to gesso it. And I just want to show you, you can make, you can paint on anything. You can, if you just put the primer on, you can paint on anything. So I'm just going to make myself a mark up to where I can paint. I'm just going to slightly go over with this because I want to cut it just a little bit smaller. So you can see I'm just going to do this, and then I'm going to cut it out. Why I'm doing these small videos with a glue gun and stuff is most of the people has got a glue gun at home. You have got a few pieces of carton or a box that some, you know, that you got a delivery in, or you can even use a pizza box. I usually use gesso on this because I know that make a ground for you to paint on almost anything. We just get a brush there. I've only got a clear gesso, but I'm going to use that, and then I will just go and do my layer that I put underneath white before I start to paint. So I'm just going to quickly gesso this. You can even do it both sides. Even if you've got a piece of wood lying around in your yard, or a piece of superwood or anything of those, you can also, you don't always need to use the gesso. You can use your PVA or your craft paint or anything acrylic that you can seal it with first before you paint. I've painted on wood directly also with my acrylics. It doesn't do anything, it doesn't come off. I'm not putting it in the sun and in the wind and in the rain, but inside or under, you know, under your veranda or something, you can do that. It doesn't got a problem. I'm just showing you what's the best way to do if you want to paint on something, is put a clear gesso layer on. Okay, I've painted on the back as well. If you are scared this is going to buckle or you know, make something like that, this is very small, so it won't. Maybe if you take a big piece and you do it, yeah, then it's got a problem. But as soon as this is rather dry, I will put it between maybe two pieces of plastic or silicone mat like this or something. I will just put a book on top of it that it can dry flat. But this must be dry first. You can see this one is already dry, and I will just dry this quickly with my heat gun, and then I'm not going to put a book on it, but you can do it if it's a bigger piece and it maybe warps. So I hope that helps. Okay, you can see this is very small. It's almost like a matchbox. Well, it's actually a little bit smaller than like a matchbox. You can see with the chapstick there. So I'm not going to cut it out. It gets too it's a problem then to start to paint on it, because you need to pin it down and everything. So I'm going to paint it, and I decided not to paint it white. I'm going to leave it as is, as it is so small. But I'm just going to use the inside. I'm not going to paint around my flower. I'm going to make a cone flower maybe. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. So I'm just going to take my blue, and I'm just going to paint. I'm going to go a little bit over, because you know, if you can, then you can move it to the area where you want it. I just want to make sure not to paint over the sides, that if you put your frame on you can't see anything. So I think I will just mark this, as this is so small that I can know where to stop. I'm going to use this pen and I will just sketch it for you first, because I know it's daunting to start right from the start, and just let's get going. I'm not going to do the petals, as I will be putting the petals in. It's too much of a problem to draw each petal, and that's my stem there. And then maybe I must put in another one here as well. We'll just see, or maybe let it lie to that side, I'm not sure. Okay, I've got two very small brushes here, so I'm just going to take a little bit orange and just pop it in the center there. And then I think I will take my dark pink first. I'm going to use this, I'm going to use my brush like that, like in that. I'm not going to use it flat. I hope you can see that. I'm going to use it like that. So I'm going to put in a few petals. I will be making them a little bit fatter. Just want to get my structure first. Remember, you always work to the middle of your little heart. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of my green and I just want to put in my stems. And maybe a leaf or two. I'm just putting a little bit of my white with this, and I just want to I hope you can see that. I'm just putting a lot of white with it, and I just want to highlight some of these petals. I'm not gonna highlight them all the way. I just want to take a little bit of my yellow, but I think I must actually first just putting a little bit of yellow here and there for a highlight. I think I must first dry this quickly, and then I can put on the light that's touching the little hearts there. Before I go in with my black pen, I just want to highlight a little bit of my heart on the one side. I'm just going to highlight it on the one side. It's still a little bit wet. So now I'm just going to quickly let it dry, and then I will do my little bit of pen work. It's not going to be much, and then I finish. Okay, the yellow is still a little bit inside the hearts, a little bit wet, but I'm just going to do a little bit of lines here and there. I'm not going to go all the way. I'm just going to make some lines here and there just to finish it off a little bit. It depends on yourself how many you want to put in there. I don't really mind. You can put in as much as you like. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of marks into my heart, and I'm going to sign my name. Now you can use a water-based varnish on top of this, as you did use your clear gesso on this. What I will do is I will, because this also needs to be varnished, you can put it in there, glue it on. When it's dry, you can maybe just take your water-based varnish and varnish everything, or you can varnish the front and this one, and then put it in there. And then if you maybe like to varnish it at the back. Now you can see I usually use my super glue or my wood glue, Gorilla wood glue, or you can use like a boss stick or something to put it on, or a craft glue. I will just cut that piece off there. You can see there it's coming through there, so I will just cut a hole there, or I will just maybe do this. Let me just show you. And then afterwards, if you've you can maybe cut it a little bit smaller. You can see now I can actually go and cut it a little bit smaller. Just make sure you don't cut it too small that you damage your front. Why I will cut it smaller is I will put another piece of something on here, maybe around the frame, and glue it also, you know, to the back, so you can finish it off. Or what you can do is afterwards, if you've glued it on like this, you can paint the whole thing yellow at the back and then put a water-based varnish on top of that. Okay, now before I say goodbye, I just want to show you how it looks. This is the one I've done now, and this is what the previous ones I've done, and you can see it makes a nice you can even put it on something like this. I think I will be putting it on something like this, and maybe just take it over the sides here and there a little bit, and then I will hang it as a grouping together on my wall. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will definitely see you next time if you did. Take care.